We have a precise analogy to this in Anglo-American law, and I believe in the law of the continent as well. If a landlord wants his tenant out, if an employer wants his employee to leave, it's difficult in many cases simply to terminate the contract, whether it's a lease contract or an employment contract. So what does the employer do? What does the landlord do? He attempts to make the tenant's or the employee's life intolerable, to make the conditions of life so unacceptable that the employee or the tenant has no choice but voluntarily to depart. Now that, I do the air quotes because obviously there is nothing voluntary about such a decision. For someone to give up her home or to give up his job is a serious decision. And yet conditions can be rendered such that it is a more attractive decision than remaining under the intolerable conditions that have been created. And that is precisely what the Iraqis are attempting to do and have been attempting to do at Ashraf. And you don't need to take my word for that, because the policies and practices that have included not just the armed invasion of July 2009, not just the threat to remove the people of Ashraf to a God-forsaken prison camp in the desert, not just the pattern of psychological torture that we've heard about today, but taking all of this together, we see that the government of Iraq at its highest levels have repeatedly explained precisely what they have in mind. They are not keeping any secrets. They say, for example, the government of Iraq has decided to expel the terrorist Mojahedin-e-Khalq, what they call Monafekin grouplet, from Iraqi soil. The file on the terrorist Monafekin grouplet will soon be in its final stage, that is, expulsion from Iraq. Now, I don't need to point out to anyone in this room that the use of the word Monafekin is immediately an indication of who it is who is really speaking.